Hey, what's up? I'm Simple, also hoping you're doing good, and I want to go over 10 perk ideas that I had in the past couple of days, weeks, and I want to discuss them, want to talk about how they would work in the game, and just the normal stuff. You already know what's happening, you read the title, so yeah, hope you enjoy, and let me know in the comments if you liked it, and if you have any ideas in your own maybe. Alright, let's start off strong with the perk Power Surge. When the progress of any generator reaches 70%, you benefit from following effect. Gain a 20% haste effect until you enter a chase with a survivor. If triggered while in a chase, the effect will be applied when the chase has ended. Power Surge can only be triggered once per generator. The idea is to have something that functions like Tinkerer, that helps you reach a gen that is about to be completed as low mobility killer. However, I understand that it would be difficult to implement in the current game, since chasing isn't perfect. The game doesn't always detect when you're in chase and when not, and it could probably bug out pretty easily and give you 20% haste in general, but I just think it would be a nice idea for low mobility killers that aren't, Nurse, Billy, Blight. Let me know what you think. Next up, we have Punish the Flawed. When survivors make a mistake, you make them face the consequences. Failing a skill check while repairing or healing when outside of your terror radius inflicts the incapacitated status effect for 14 seconds. Failed skill checks, however, no longer produce audio or visual clues for you, so you will get passive slowdown if they miss skill checks while doing these actions, but you will miss out on a chance to punish them for doing that or missing the skill check, so it's a bit of a trade-off. I think that could be a very fun perk, especially on stealth killers, but it might be too strong. I don't know about 14 seconds. Let me know what you think. Now, this perk might be a bit controversial because it might encourage slugging for killers, but I think it would just be a very neat thing to have that in your game, and it would probably create a lot of chaos. Hex in the Shadows. When a survivor enters the dying state by any means, a random dull totem becomes ignited and activates Hex in the Shadows. Until the survivor leaves the dying state by any means, the Hex totem persists. While active, you gain the undetectable status effect, and you increase your field of view by 10 degrees. Now, the field of view change was introduced a while back, and this perk design was, I did that before they changed with the FOV slide and everything. You could just imagine that away, but I definitely think that would create a lot of chaos. With the undetectable status effect and a survivor on the ground, you should be able to ambush people by waiting near the survivor, or possibly even going around doing gens if they suspect that you're near the survivor. It could be very, very fun. So yeah. Now, the next perk we got is also about chase and leaving chase. So as I said, it might not work perfectly, but I do like the idea. Continuous Hunt. Striking fear in their hearts, you empower from their helplessness. After injuring a survivor, this perk activates. While active, leaving the chase will grant you a permanent 5% haste bonus. This perk deactivates when a survivor loses a health state, a chase with the person you previously injured started, or you gain Bloodlust by any means. Afterward, this perk goes on a 90-second long cooldown. Now, the idea is good in my opinion. I really do like this perk, or the base idea of it at least, to be encouraged to chase someone, injure them, and then leave to go for another one. Probably especially strong on killers like Wraith, who can choose who they start a chase with, but I think 90-second cooldown might be a bit long. What do you think? Now we've got Bask in their fear. Fueled by their everlasting struggle, you grow stronger the weaker your prey becomes. While the survivor is placed on a sacrificial hook and you are further than 24 meters away, your movement speed is increased by 3, 4 or 5%. After the survivor is rescued or unhooks themselves, this perk goes on a 30-second cooldown. I do like my haste perks. I think this one's fine because it encourages leaving the hook and the survivors, to unhook as fast as possible. I think this perk might not even need a cooldown. Honestly, I think this perk would be very fine as it is in the game. You could maybe even make it a score truck perk and increase the speed bonus to 7 or 8%. I don't know. Now, the next perk has to do with gens, and you will see that I really like tokens as well. I really like token-based perks, so yeah. Reappliance. You stop at nothing when it comes to hindering the survivor's progress. Every time you finish kicking a generator, gain a token, up to a maximum of 8, 6 or 5 tokens. When having maximum tokens in your possession, the next generator you kick will regress 20% of its current progress and start regressing at 100% of normal regression rate. Afterwards, all tokens are consumed. So the idea of this perk is, at least at max level, that after kicking a few generators, one of your kicks in between becomes really powerful, so you might want to keep that. So while this perk might encourage people kicking gens at low progress, it also encourages not kicking every gen you come across because you want that 5 token value. So yeah, I think it might be interesting. You may even make the instant regression a bit more, like 30%, but decrease the afterward regression to 80, 75%, something like that. Now, this perk's idea I got from a friend on my Discord, so shout out to you. I know he's watching right now, and it's called Masochist. A true hunter enjoys the struggle of their prey. After getting stunned by a pellet, Masochist activates for 30 seconds. While active, your breaking speed on pellets, breakable walls and generators increases by 40%. This effect does not stack with other perks or add-ons, so you can't use it together with Brutal Strength and Wraith add-ons or something for insane breaking speed. And afterwards, Masochist goes on a cooldown for 30 seconds. This would just be a very nice chase perk that you could use, especially against people who pre-drop pallets, which is very annoying. And it could be used with Enduring to reduce the stun, the initial one, or just power through pallets. Maybe 40% is a bit much, but I do want to make it more valuable than Brutal Strength, since that's just a permanent 20% increase. Yeah, let me know in the comments what you think about that one. Now, if you know me, you know I really like Bloodborne and endgame perks in general. No Way Out, one of my favorites. And I think this one could be really toxic for the killer. It's called Grand Exit. And sometimes, a single moment decides between life or death. For every generator that is repaired, gain a token with a maximum of 5. Obviously. For each token in your possession, increases attack recovery by 5%. As soon as the exit gates are powered, Grand Exit activates its secondary effect. When a survivor leaves through the exit gate, call forth the entity to block that exit gate for all remaining survivors for 5 seconds. Now this will be one of those perks that you could, pull up in the end game and be like, oh, you're teabagging me at the gate. Well, enjoy, I have faster attack recovery and you can't all leave at the same time. And I think that could be really funny, and originally this only had the secondary effect, but I think it would be a bit too niche just for that. Plus, I do like the counterplay of, being able to see, oh, the killer has increased attack recovery speed, but he's also hitting the obsession, so we can assume it's not save the best for last. Yeah, I just think this would fit really nicely into endgame builds and potentially catch a nasty little teabag or two off guard. Now this perk is a bit more complicated, so stay with me, but I think it has potential, okay? It's called Entrapment, and you gain a token for every pallet you destroy with a maximum of 3. If a survivor performs a loud rushed vault action over a dropped pallet while in chase, consume up to 3 tokens for following effects. At 1 token, you block the pallet for 5 seconds so the survivor can't vault back. At 2 tokens, that same effect applies, but it's 12 seconds. And at 3 tokens, the pallet is blocked for 2 seconds and automatically destroyed afterwards. Now, multiple things I need to point out here. The loud rushed vault action indicates that it actually has to be audible, so perks like Quick and Quiet or Cut Loose would counter this perk. And Also notable, you can break pallets while they're being blocked by the entity, so it wouldn't hinder you if it's like a shack pallet and they vault it. It wouldn't hinder you from breaking the pallet and continuing the chase. It's just that at 3 tokens, if it's only blocked for 2 seconds, it would usually be more worth it to wait for the entity to block it. So yeah, this one might be very interesting, and I would actually do like to see a perk that automatically breaks pallets that is not dissolution. Now, everyone likes to have a bit of freedom. You know, no one likes rules. But if you're the killer, you decide the rules. Control Freak. Control Freak activates after kicking a generator. While active, the generator with the current most amount of progress will get blocked by the entity. Control Freak deactivates once a different generator starts regressing by any means. Afterwards, this perk goes on cooldown for 45 seconds. I think this perk could be really interesting, especially considering that you can permanently block off one generator. However, to discourage 3 gens and, you know, hostage situations, I have added the part where it deactivates once a different gen starts regressing. It could be anything, it could be once the survivor is put in the dying state, but I think it would just be really fun to be able to shut down one gen permanently until you have to kick another one that's high progress. So you have to value, is it worth that they finish this one but the other one stays blocked, or is it worth the other way around? Of course you can make a 3 gen to a 2 gen with this one, but you can't really kick any of the other 2 gens, so survivors can just force them even if they're close by, and you will have to give in eventually, and the hefty cooldown of 45 seconds is going to hurt. So yeah, let me know what you think, and do not forget to subscribe, like, I'm not gonna bother. You do you, let me know what you thought of the perks, and catch you in the next one.